our music. Today in our program, the band Stone Jesus will tell our audience about their new experimental album. This album is more diversified, and finally we produced an album in which each of the 7 songs is a great pleasure to play. What is the 1000 emails rule, and how to get the crowd all riled up by using the Imperial March, 900 emails and 5 concerts. Is it a truck? I cannot even say a word. All this time we answer one question. You are getting ready for the interview? Watch next about this further in the program. Hello, we're Stone Jesus, and you will spend the day together with us. Stone Jesus is one of the most renowned Ukrainian rock bands that represent Ukrainian music on the international stage. The band has toured in Europe and South America over the 9 years of its existence. Their compositions are constantly gaining millions of views of internet users. All the previous albums released by Stone Jesus are radically different. The trio released their 4th album in September 2018. On one of the most legendary record labels, and immediately after that went on a worldwide tour. There was a certain musical climate, and there were no bands that continued to carry the traditions of cool, classic old rock. And now for almost a year we have been playing with Dima. We spent time with him on a road throughout Europe and in South America. I wouldn't say that this is a completely new manner for me. I have played in bands with a similar style. So I guess that I have some understanding of what is this music about, and that I have something to suggest. At the same time, it has slightly different tints, and it is interesting to be clear about what is appropriate to play and what is not. Even old pieces have found a new sound and a totally new arrangement. He came when the material was already lined up, and literally on the 5th or 6th rehearsal. Don't listen now, I am giving you compliments. He grasped everything. That was cool, and I wait eagerly for the next album, where we could work and produce together more great music. The Legend of 1000 Emails. This is the story that belongs to the panoptic of Stoned Jesus. There were somewhere around 900 emails, which I sent to concert organizers, other groups, club owners, bookers, and anyone else. Only 50 of them answered back. Half of them immediately turned us down, 5 answered willingly, and 20 were reluctant. As a result, we were granted 5 concerts. 900 email list, 5 concerts. Next time I texted around 200. That was the time when we went on the road together, and we gave 10 or 12 concerts. So the fork finally started to become slightly narrower. By the 3rd to 4th tour, more serious market players began to pay attention to us. I think we just were in the right place and at the right time, because at that time in Europe, the stoner doom trend began to emerge. Right, just another wave was underway. Yes, Germany, France, Poland, Western countries generally. Music fans again fell in love with Black Sabbath. They again started to love such magnetic hard music. That was what opened the doors for us to Europe. On our first tours we played with genre groups, and people went to concerts to listen to such genre music. But then on our 3rd or 5th tour, people started going to concerts to listen our songs. That was very satisfying to see that people were coming not just to listen to extended riffs in the smoky atmosphere of the 1970s. People come to listen to us. In the early days we used to laugh at those groups from the 1970s. Those guys with flares and wearing granny blouses. Those were the early days. Now nobody's laughing. Today nobody laughs. There was a funny moment when we inserted a small piece from the Imperial March in the Black Woods song. It sounded well suited in terms of the tempo and the general mood. Next time we put fragment from Prodigy into the song Indian.
Да-да-да, это был Юсуф Сейлович, потом рифачок из Invaders Must Die, продиджевский, и потом Indian.
We did it in 2015 to 2016, when we played with the drummer Vita. Because of constant concerts, we had no time for new songs, and the old material became boring. And there are some things renewed by audience. I'm always asked in interviews if I'm not bored of singing the song "I'm the Mountain" again and again. For me, this song sounds different every time. Half of the success of a live concert is in the audience's reaction. That's why I feel that every time we play this song, it is something new for us.
I'm the mountain on a plain. Tell me now that I can say I'm the spirit, I'm the source, I'm the root, I am the cause. I'm the road, rolling high, running out from my heart. I'm the mountain, light me up, and we're never gonna stop.
Most likely they must be from the United States. Perhaps they are from the United States. Perhaps this is grunge or punk rock. Something like Green Day or Linkin Park. This is too strong and too vibrant. Somehow like New Zealand or something like that. I like that the most. Also, it was Ukrainian, and most likely the music participated in some selections. I think this is something foreign. From the States, it seems to me.
For the
first album, First Communion, there was a task to struggle with the music of that time, which was basically the trendy underground music, and show that it's possible to go along another path and pay homage to Founding Fathers by putting out an album in the pure style of Black Sabbath. It was a stoner doom album that would become an exhibited item in the office of the Board of Weights and Measures. Here, everything is so slow and extended with blues solos. It's great, so listen. Let's pay attention to the truth. That was your desire to create a stoner doom album. Clearly, you wanted to challenge yourself. Changes came because we're all alive, though our taste and preferences regarding the songs that we play may change. The perception of a concert changes, because we are a concert group, and it is very important for us to share our energy with the people. If the music changes, then under any circumstances it finds a new listener. Eyes or heels? Heels. Pull or push? Push. What can you buy for $1? 30, no, 28 hryvnias. You found a suitcase with money. How would you react? We will spend them. Say something with an accent. Why? Aggression or shame? Shame. Heart of a dog or Fight Club? Heart of a dog, of course. Solo or festival? Solo. What was the name of your first love? Yana. And the last? Natasha. Which famous person would you perform together with? With George Michael. What are you afraid of? Tickling. Why does the week start on Monday instead of Saturday? Monday starts on Saturday. Window or door? Window. Is a beard fashionable? A beard shall be shaven. We have already played a couple of new pieces during 2 tours, and on one of those tours, to put it gently, it was an experiment in order to see how the public would react to it. I did not expect that there would be such a reaction, because the track is quite slow. For quite a while something was going on there, and there was quite a lot of silence, and the silence was actually missed there. It was filled with people. It wasn't filled with something kind of, oh well, how are you doing? With every concert, the public began to feel the silence in a different way. Some shouted, others clapped, and some tried to boo us off the stage. My contribution to this album is far less than it could be, and will be further. I joined when the material was partially finished. But the new tracks are much more interesting. They're new for us as well. Despite the fact that we work a lot with them, they're still new for us. The guys worked even longer, but in fact we perform only 2 of the tracks at live concerts. Songs from the album Pilgrims were developed in the period of 2015 to 2016, and then they were finalized by Dima in 2017 and released this year. Some of them were composed 3 years ago, but they still cannot be considered finished, seeing as far as we have not performed them live. This is an experiment in a vacuum, and only contact with the audience can make it all come alive. The album turned out to be rather introspective, gloomy, but at the same time more dynamic. This one is more dynamic, and finally we produced an album in which each of the 7 songs is a great pleasure to play. It deserves to be listened to from the beginning to the end. This is our best work to this day, and I'm very proud of it. Basically, after the first week of the intensive trip, a decline in activity begins. The only thing you want to do is lie down and quit. Apathy. You think to yourself, Lord, why did I get into this? Why me? Why am I here? How much better it would be working in an office for a week or two. But this is just a moment of weakness after which you get a second wind. You get involved in the process and you continue to live.
Мне нравится в турах.
To be on the road is fine. I like it. I like that kind of fatigue. You feel like you are doing a great thing.
Ездишь там, типа, тусишь, ты делаешь.
And all the fatigue, so what? Is getting tired not allowed?
Ничего. А что надо, чтобы...
Do you feel good every day?
Хорошо себя чувствовать.
Cool.
Морально, да, но есть там
It's rather morally tough. There are moments when it is important to support each other, so it's good when everything is fine inside the team.
коллективом, в котором все хорошо внутри.
Нет, на самом деле, ну, есть такое ощущение.
You get the feeling that you have a goal and all your efforts made to achieve that goal. And when the tour ends and you come back, then you may feel some sort of depletion that needs to be replaced by something else. And then weird thoughts come into your head, like where is the real life? Where does one feel real? Is it that guy on the bus sleepy, 2 days without a shower, a guitar in repair, but feeling great because he gives live concerts?
Проблемами, касающимися там той же, не знаю, проблемы какие-то с гитарой и при этом чувствующие себя прекрасно.
Or is the real life among bustling crowds of people on buses that have their daily humdrum schedule? They're controlled by their daily routine. I am not. I don't even know what will happen in the next hour. Nobody makes classes on how to become a rock star and not to lose your mind and not become a drug addict. Thank you for your time with Stone Jesus. You may notice it's already night. It's bedtime. So we say good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And sweet dreams. See you next time.
До встречи.